morning. I would like to call this meeting to order. I would like to begin by acknowledging that we are in Treaty 1 territory and the traditional homeland of the Métis Nation. My name is Carrie Linklater. I'm your chairperson today. I'm joined on the panel today by Mr. Max Goldak to my immediate left, and my far left, Mr. Robert Buss. Our city assessor today is Ms. Brittany Santucci, and our admin secretary is Ms. Fallon Rojo. We will be hearing applications for revision of the assessment roll in accordance with the Municipal Assessment Act. The matters for which revision is requested have been described in each application, and we will limit discussion to those matters. The statements that applicants or the assessor make at this hearing are sworn testimony, and anyone speaking to the matters must be sworn in. Be advised that comparisons of assessments of properties are not considered evidence of market value by the board. The board is appointed annually by City Council and is independent of it and the city administration. It makes its decisions on the basis of the evidence provided at this hearing and issues a written order that will be mailed to all parties as soon as possible. Please note that the board's decisions with respect to an application may be appealed to the Manitoba Municipal Board if the matter pertains to the assessed value or classification, or to the Court of Queen's Bench if the matter pertains to the application of exemptions from taxation. Should you wish to appeal, information on how to do so will be included with the board's order. With respect to the hearing process, I will confirm the matters to be addressed with each applicant following the swearing in. We will then have the assessor's testimony followed by questions that the applicant may have, and then the applicant's testimony followed by questions. Each side will have an opportunity to summarize if they wish. Once all the evidence about an application has been brought forward, the applicant may leave. The process will repeat for each item on the docket today. The session will close after all the applications have been heard, and the board will deliberate in private and make its decisions. You will receive the order by registered mail as soon as possible. And as information, all public hearings are live streamed, recorded, and will be part of the public record. If you'd like to swear me in.
Please state your full name.
Brittany Santucci.
And you swear the evidence you're about to present is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
I do.
Thank you. Just swear now, just swear. Please state your full name.
Ryan Alvaros?
And you swear the evidence you're about to present is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes.
Thank you.
I don't think, but maybe. Bradford Scott Grossman?
And you swear the evidence you're about to present is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. Do you have please birth 15 center?
Yes, I do. 16, 17.
Did you give the assessor a copy?
I did.
The assessor has already.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Alvarez.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Borgstrom.
Good morning.
And good morning, Ms. Santucci. If you would like to begin with our first property.
Yeah. The first property is Business Assessment ID 30004. Address is 320 Osborne Street, file number 17-5249. The total annual rental value was $89,280, and the base annual rental value per square foot was $8.24. The recommendation is to reduce the 2018 ARV from the $89,280 to the $82,680, based on the Assessment and Taxations Department's recommendation for the 2018 realty assessment, which used $7.48 for the base annual ARV per square foot. And on page 4 of my brief here, you can just see the board order. Thank you, that's my presentation.
Thank you. Any questions from the panel?
Yes, how come there's two lines? There's one value is
$89,280 and the other's $82,680.
So the 89 was the original, and then with the recommendation from the 2018 Realty, we applied the $7.48, which I just put below.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see. I think that's a little different than I've seen before. Okay, I'm just confused. That's all my questions, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Mr. I'm sorry, could you repeat your name again for me?
Oliveros.
Oliveros. I was going to call you. Anyway, and what do you say about that?
We accept the
Accept it?
recommendation.
Thank
Yes.
you. And whenever you're ready.
This is business assessment ID 38404, address is 84 Squarefield Boulevard, file number 17-5433. The total annual rental value was $230,820. The base annual rental value per square foot was $12.40. The recommendation today is to reduce the 2018 ARV from the $230,820 to $200,580. Based on the 2018 Board of Revision Realty Assessment Decision, which used $10.50 for the base annual rental value per square foot. And on page 2, you can see the Board of Revision order. Thank you, that's my presentation.
Thank you. Panel, any questions?
No questions.
We accept the recommendation.
Thank you. And whenever you're ready.
This is business assessment ID 53174, address is 50 Center Street, file number 17-5891. The total annual rental value is $148,200. The total area of all premises is 5,834 square feet. The overall annual rental value per square foot is $25.40.
Excuse me just a second.
Yeah, and I apologize for interrupting.
Sorry.
Because these are dealing, this particular rule is a 16 supplementary assessment, there's
Right.
also a 17, so
Right.
I'm wondering if it might, for expediency's sake, be appropriate to deal with them concurrently. Same reference date, same information.
Yes, we had, sorry, we had discussed this.
Oh,
She
I'm sorry,
stated-
yes.
No,
Okay.
that's
Yeah.
fine, so she was going to read it once and then explain that,
That's
so.
perfect, yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, so this is for roll year 2016, but also for 2017. There's two premises for this business assessment. There is a gas station store, which is the 3,412 square feet. The base annual rental value is the $120,648. The occupancy costs were applied. For the second premise, it was the car wash at 2,422 square feet with the base annual rental value of $15,428, and the occupancy costs were applied to that one without, with the air conditioner removed. On page 2, I have our gas station car wash pad site rent comparables. I have highlighted comparables 1, 5, 12, 13, 14. Comparables 1, 5, and 12 are all gas stations with convenience stores and car washes that are around similar size. The subject property is a bit larger than the comparables we have here. Comparables 13 and 14 are for coin-operated car washes, and those net rents per square foot are the $7.72 and then $11.90. I guess for comparable 12, that's also a newer Red River co-op. So we look to the car wash rent of $10.50 applied, and the $42.92 from that were derived from the pad site annual pad site rent. Pages 3 to 20 are just the mailers and pictures of the pad site rent comparables. And my recommendation is to maintain the 2016 ARV of 148,200. Thank you. That's my presentation.
And your comparables are the same?
For both years. Yeah, the briefs are exactly the same.
Did you have any questions?
Yes, okay, I do. Ms. Santucci, so with your comparables, as you say, they are pad site rents. Would you agree that the rents that you have imputed from these pad site leases have nothing to do with the actual improvements of, sorry, with the improvement meaning the convenience store itself, of the physical aspect of the building?
Yeah, for the pad site, it's just the amount they pay, and what we tried to do was just take that amount and kind of separate it into two rents per, like, net rent per square foot. So nothing, we just use the square feet of the sites, that's all we have for it.
Okay. And would you agree that pad leases are, the rents agreed to for pad leases for the owners of the said premises here, would you agree that they negotiate these rents based on the business income they can expect to achieve within these premises?
I don't know. I don't know how they come up with the pad site rent in particular.
No further questions.
Thank you. Mr. Bess?
The comparables you have on page 2, sorry if I've said it already, but are some of these pad site leases?
All of the comparables are just the pad site leases, and what we tried to do is break them up into the separate, by using the square feet for the store and the square feet for the car wash, and then trying to get rents from like that.
Okay, so which one, so number 12, that's a Red River Co-op?
Yes. So we took the annual pad site rent, took the square feet for both sites, and we started with the car wash and applied the $10.50, and then from there went and used the store area to find out the net rent per square foot for the store.
Okay, so the subject property, the total area of the premises is 5384 square feet. And say on number 12, the total area would be 47 square feet?
Yeah.
Okay,
So the subject property is larger than all of the pad site rent comparables.
and they're paying 114,996 for their pad site?
Yes.
And you have the subject at 148 too?
We have the subject before occupancy costs applied at
Sorry.
136.
That's all my questions, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
Is the quantum, the real estate quantum being appealed on these?
The realty was not appealed on these for the business assessment. Was it for the realty you meant? Or there was no appeals for the realty?
Were they done?
No, there was, I think the only appeal for realty was done before the building was added. It was a land appeal, but there's no appeal for the actual gas station adding on.
I can address that as we get into our evidence, or I can address it now, whatever you prefer.
Yeah, you can address it.
Yeah. It was
When
just-
you, sorry,
yeah.
when you do your presentation.
Sure, thank you.
More questions?
No, well, I'd like to get that one answered.
Sorry, what year was this built?
The property was built in 2016.
Sorry, did you mention an add-on?
No, what we had was, it was originally the vacant land, and then we had just added the two separate buildings for this one, the car wash and store unattached or anything.
Okay. Did you have a chance to visit this property?
I did actually, I added it to the roll, so,
So you've inspected it?
yes,
You were the official inspector?
yes.
Just wondering on your comparisons 13 and 14, do they also have convenience stores?
In 13 and 14, the comparables, they're just coin-operated car washes, standalones.
Okay. So the comparison number 12, the other Red River Co-op that you've got, that is,
It's a very similar site, it's by the casino on Regent, and it's also the separate drive-through car wash and then a separate convenience store.
okay. And your two Shell, 1 and 5?
The Shell is also, that one's by IKEA, it's a newer one, 2014. That one has the separate car wash and convenience store. And then the other Shell on Tuxedo and Corden, again, is the separate convenience store from the car wash. That one's just a bit older.
Yeah.
And
And smaller.
a lot smaller for the
Yeah.
convenience store. Which is why the $65.94
Right.
net rent.
Okay, thank you, that's all my questions. Would you like to give us your presentation?
Just, and then perhaps as a preliminary explanation and answer to your
Yes.
question. The city issued supplementary assessments on it for the realty in or around December of 17. And the way we deal with this particular client is that they upload notices into a system. We get notification of it, and for whatever reason, there was a delay or there was an oversight and it wasn't done as it should have been done, and so that is exactly why there's no, that's why there was no appeal filed on the supplementary assessments. But having said that, the fact that there is no realty appeal on it doesn't preclude a reduction on the business assessment based on the evidence presented here today. So, I'm just gonna sit back.
Whenever you're ready, Mr. Lorenz.
So the subject premise in question is located on 50 Center Street. Ms. Santucci has described the premise adequately, so I will not speak on that. So, in my brief, I have included photos of the subject premise on pages 2 with an aerial map of the assessment parcel on page 3. And I also have further photos of the subject premise on page 4. On page 4, I have an overall picture here, as you can see. And the second picture on page 4, although it is quite a blurry picture here, this is the convenience store located. This is the convenience store component of the subject premise. So moving on to page 6 of my brief. Ms. Santucci has already established the rents applied to, the current assessed rents applied to the convenience store as well as the vehicle car wash components of the subject premise. At this time, we have no contentions to the vehicle to the rent applied to the vehicle car wash, and we have no contentions also to the total occupancy costs. And further on page 6, I have provided market rents, before I get to that, the rents applied to, the rents that the assessment and taxation department have applied here. I would like to establish on the last page of my appendix, I have provided a workup of the 2016-2017 realty assessment of the subject property. Here you can see that they have separated the vehicle car wash section as well as the convenience store, the pump station, not the pump station, the convenience store location and the vehicle car wash. The adjustments noted on the income valuation summary here, those are adjustments that account for the pumps, takes, and canopies. So effectively, what you have, once the assessment and taxation department has separated the components of the property in question here, what you have for the convenience store is effectively a retail location. So that is why on page 6 of my brief, the comparable rents that I have provided are retail locations in general. So moving on to the rents that I have provided. Index number 1, located on Headmaster Row, has a total leasable area of 3,089 square feet with a net rent of $20 per square foot. Index number 2, also located on Headmaster Row, is 1,962 square feet and has a net rent of $20 per square foot. Index number 3, again, located on Headmaster Row, has a total leasable area of 1,445 square feet with a net rent of $23 per square foot. And I would also, with index numbers 1 to 3, I would like to mention that this is a very good traffic location. There is a Tim Hortons there, and the Tim Hortons, generally they wouldn't locate in a location that doesn't have good visibility or good traffic. Index number 4, located on Keniston Boulevard. It is located within Keniston Common, and it is one of the hottest retail developments right now in the city of Winnipeg. And sorry, just to add here, it has a total leasable area of 3,023 square feet with a net rent of $29.25 per square foot. Index number 5, located on Portage Avenue, has a total leasable area of 3,030 square feet with a net rent of $24 per square foot. And I would like to add that this is a 7-Eleven store. So with this being said, this is a very strong comparable in my opinion, as you don't get any closer to a convenience store as you would as a 7-Eleven. Index number 6, located on St. Mary's Road, it has a total leasable area of 2,546 square feet with a net rent of $30 per square foot. It is located in close proximity to St. Vital Mall. St. Vital Mall is the second highest, has the second highest sales per square foot in the city of Winnipeg, and is also the second largest mall within Winnipeg. The first being Polo Park, with both of those factors considered. So with it being in close proximity to St. Vital Mall, it is a high traffic location, so it's a good location for businesses to locate. Index number 7, located on Sterling Lion Parkway, has a total leasable area of 2,760 square feet with a net rent of $32.88 per square foot. Index number 8, also located on Sterling Lion Parkway, has a total leasable area of 1,273 square feet with a net rent of $29.88 per square foot. This is also a highly developing retail node within the city of Winnipeg, and it continues to develop until now. All right, so the average of my comparable rents, the range of my comparable rents are from $20 per square foot to $32.88 per square foot. The average of the market rent is $26.13 per square foot, with a median of $26.63 per square foot. So with these market rents considered, all factors being considered, we do ask the board to decrease the net market rent for the C-store component to $31 per square foot. And I have provided a workup of the total assessment here. And so the rent I have applied to the car wash is $31 per square foot. Or sorry, to the convenience store is $31 per square foot. And the rent I have applied to the car wash is $6.37 per square foot. This comes to the overall blended rent that I have provided at $20.77. And I am on page 7, I do apologize. And this has, with it, for a total estimated base rent of 121,172 square feet. And we respectfully ask the Board of Revision to reduce the 2018 business assessment for the subject premise from $148,200 to $133,260. And that concludes my presentation.
Thank you. Did you also, because you've just presented for both years, did you also want to put in your number for 2018? Because I think you just said 2017.
This is for 2016.
16 and
16,
16
yeah.
and 17
16 and 17.
are the same as 18, because it deals with a different reference here. The rental comparables are slightly different.
Oh, they are different,
The-
okay,
The
sorry.
approach is going to be similar, and so it'll be relatively
Okay.
quick. But there are some differences in the rental comps that
Sure.
that Ryan has selected, and Ryan selected them. so.
Okay, that's fine, thank you. Questions?
Mr. Oliveros, is comparable 5 the only convenience store comparable? I'm just trying to look from the pictures here.
Index number 5?
Yes, index number
Yes, that is correct.
5. And none of the comparables are gas station convenience stores?
No, they are not.
And the newest comparable would be the 2013 year?
That is correct.
Okay. That is all my questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Buss?
Are any of the comparables a car wash? Any of the comparables,
Sorry?
are any of the comparables a car wash?
They are not, no. As I stated, they are all retail locations, so.
So you haven't supplied any comparables for the car wash?
Just to clarify, and as we went through, or as Ryan went through the information, there is no dispute with respect to the rental rates applied to the vehicle car wash. The only dispute arises with respect to the rental rate applied to the convenience store component of this.
Okay. Does the co-op, Red River Co-op, own this piece of property?
They do.
They do. That's all my questions, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Questions? Mr. Oliveras, the comparisons that you mainly used, Taylor, St. Mary's, Sterling Lion, Parkway, except for Headmaster, would you say those are major streets?
Sorry, Sterling Line, Headmaster, or.
No, I said, sorry, Taylor, St. Mary's, Sterling Lion, those are all major streets, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Yes, with the exception of Headmaster.
With the exception of Headmaster, but Headmaster does abut, Headmaster Road is off of Lachimodia, which is also
Right, right,
a high traffic
which
location.
is very close,
Sorry.
exactly. Ms. Santucci? sorry, I just want to redirect to you.
Yep.
So your comparisons on Strimline, Court, and Regent, Pembina, Phillips, would you agree that those are all major high-traffic streets?
I agree.
Then would you agree that Center Street is not?
I think that you get a lot of traffic coming in because it is the main route into Bridgewater. You can easily get off Kennison onto 50 Center Street. So it's the first gas station when you come in for some reason.
Okay. Would you agree, though, that Center Street is, that area is really servicing that neighborhood?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. That's all my questions.
I would like just one comment, if I might.
Sure.
As you look at the assessor's comparables, and I could have done it, I guess, in summation, but as you look at the assessor's comparables, none of them are rents of buildings, they're all land leases. But even if you accept the approach of extracting out an imputed rent to the building area, all of the assessor's comparables are much, much smaller than the subject property, and you'll see the smaller you get, the more distorted the rental rate becomes. For example, the Domo works out to, I think it's $180 a square foot. Nothing 112 square feet in size is gonna rent for $180 a square foot. And so the smaller you get in size, the more disputed the rental rate becomes, which is why we've taken a different approach in trying to determine a fair base rent for the subjects. Thanks.
Thank you. Did you want to proceed with 2018?
Yes. So the business assessment ID is the 53174, address is 50 Center Street, file number 17-5889. The total annual rental value is $140,516. Total premise area is 5,834 square feet. So the overall annual rental value per square foot is $25.46. So for the convenience store, it's the 3,412 for the premise area, and the base annual rental value per square foot was used was $34. For the car wash, the 2,422 square feet, we used the base annual rental value per square foot of $8.10. If you turn to page 2, I've provided the pad site rent comparables again. I update just some of the lease dates for this here. Again, we use the pad site rent comparables to kind of like, we don't really have much information on most other gas stations, like the one we're looking at, are owner occupied, so they're, if anything, they're book rent. So we tried our best to extract the net rent per square foot. Again, they do pay the annual pad site rent, that's what they're paying for these properties. We think that with this, we've also included not just a convenience store net rent per square foot, but this also takes into account that it is a gas station as well, and that would be factored in. Again, I highlighted comparables 1, 5, and 12 because they're larger convenience store areas that include the standalone drive-through car wash, and comparables 13 and 14 are just the coin-operated car washes. And then yes, pages 3 to 20 are just the mailers and the photos of the comparable sites. So my recommendation is to maintain the 2018 ARV of $148,560. Thank you. That's my presentation.
Thank you. Questions?
Yes, same thing as I had before, the rents that you have applied to the convenience store component of the subject premise, they are imputed from a pad site rent, effectively a land lease, right? So they have nothing to do with the physical, with the physical aspect of the building, of the improvement, correct?
They're just for the total land and what they pay to lease that land, not for the specific, they're not broken down into the specific properties on the site.
No further questions.
Thank you. Mr. Bess?
This is for the,
Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
I'm just slow. Would you say that this is, having a pad lease is generally how gas stations operate? They get the pad and then they kind of do what they want with it?
Yeah, they put all the improvements on and, yeah, unless it's owner occupied, the pad lease is the only thing we have for the gas stations on non-owner occupied sites.
That's all my questions.
Thank you. To the city.
Pardon?
To the city.
Yeah, now this is for the 2018, not the supplementary.
Just, yeah, this is just 2018.
And the supplementary preceded this or came after it?
We sent it all at once. They would have, yeah, so like this was after the 2016-17 year, but they received everything at once.
Yeah, I'm a little confused, but
This is a supplementary application.
Or, yeah, like,
Yeah,
thing.
supplementary application. This is 2018 we're doing.
Yeah, but 2018, this is, tell me how the supplementary is gonna come after this?
No, this is
No.
2018 supplementary.
Yeah. We did 2016, 2017 first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, we have 2018, we have a 2018 and we have a 2018 supplementary.
No.
No.
This is 2018 business assessment. This is 2018 supplementary business assessment.
Sorry, this is Osborne Street.
Pardon?
This is Osborne Street you're looking at?
Oh. My apologies.
No worries. It's the effects of the Jets game last night.
Yeah.
At least we can all be happy about it.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay, now I'm,
I have no questions. If you'd like to proceed.
So the subject premise in question is located again on 50 Center Street for the 2018 supplementary business assessment. Similar to my presentation for 2016, for the 2016-2017 supplementary assessment, I have provided photos of the subject premise on page 2 with an aerial map again on page 3, and I provided the exact same photos furthermore on page 4 of my brief here. And Ms. Santucci has described the events that the assessment and taxation department has applied accurately. Madam Chair, I would just like to reestablish here that the rents that they have provided, again, that I believe I've cleared up in questioning, is that the rents that they have applied for the convenience store are imputed from the pad lease rents, so they have to do with the land, but in my opinion, they have nothing to do with the physical aspect of the convenience store itself, so nothing to do with the improvements, but they are solely based on the land lease and taken from and after accounting for the vehicle car wash, after accounting for the vehicle car wash, it is imputed from that. And again, similar to my approach with the 2016-2017 supplementary assessment, on the last page of my brief, I have provided a workup of the 2018 assessment for the property in question. Again, they separate the convenience store component of the subject premise and the vehicle car wash component. And after that, they do make adjustments for the pumps, tanks, and canopies, which are assessed separately. So again, I would like to reestablish that fact that for this reason, if you think of it, when you think about it, they are just establishing a value for the convenience store itself. So now on page 7 of my brief, with that being said, I have provided the following market rents for the C-store component of the subject premise only. We do not dispute the rental rates applied to the car wash section, as well as we do not dispute the total occupancy costs for both the C-store and as well as the car wash section. So I am speaking only on the convenience store component of the subject premise, and that is the rent we are disputing today for the 2018 supplementary business assessment. So moving on to my rent comparables, index number 1, located on Headmaster Row, total leasable area of 3,089 square feet with a net rent per square foot of $20. Index number 2, located on Headmaster Row, has a total leasable area of 1,445 square feet with a net rent of $23 per square foot. And as I mentioned earlier, that the locations located on Headmaster Row, and they are part of the same strip mall for index numbers 1 and 2, a Tim Hortons is located on there. So then a Tim Hortons wouldn't locate in a location where there isn't good traffic. There needs to be, they locate in places where there would be high traffic, where they would get that good visibility to bring more traffic into the store. Index number 3, located on Taylor Avenue, has a leasable area of 1,500 square feet with a rent of $27 per square foot. Index number 4, located on the same strip mall as index number 3, has a total leasable area of 1,500 square feet with a rent of $31 per square foot. What I would like to establish for index numbers 3 and 4, this is also a good location, and for example, there is a Burger King in very close proximity to this location, and similar to the Tim Hortons, they wouldn't locate it in a place where there would be high traffic and good visibility. Index number 5, located on St. Mary's Road, has a total leasable area of 1,245 square feet with a net rent of $30 per square foot. Index number 6, located on St. Mary's Road, has a total leasable area of 2,546 square feet with a net rent of $30 per square foot. And again, index numbers 5 and 6 are located in close proximity to St. Vital Mall, so it is a very good location for retail businesses to locate with the high traffic counts. With St. Mary's having high traffic because of that location. Index number 7, located on Sterling Line Parkway, has a total leasable area of 1,276 square feet with a rent of $30 per square foot. Index number 8, on Sterling Line Parkway, has a total leasable area of 2,760 square feet with a net rent of $32.88 per square foot. Index number 9, located on Sterling Line Parkway, has a total leasable area of 1,265 square feet with a net rent of $29.72 per square foot. And again, Sterling Line Parkway, it is located in the new development area, so it is a good traffic location also. Madam Chair, I would like to establish here that, as you can see from the rental comparables that I have provided, none of these rents would support the rent applied by the Assessment and Taxation Department of $34 per square foot, they are very well below that number actually. The average of my comparable rents is $20 per square foot, or sorry, the range of my rents is $20 per square foot to $32.88 per square foot. And the average of my rents is $28.18 with a median of $30 per square foot. And so we respectfully ask the board to decrease the net market rent to the C-store component to $31 per square foot. And just moving on further from that actually is we have chosen on the higher range of our rental comparables, the reason being that this is a newly constructed building, it is on a new development area, so we feel that $31 per square foot is more than fair to apply to the C-store component of the subject premise. And I have provided and so in conclusion, we do ask the board to decrease the 2018 supplementary business assessment for the subject premise from $148,200 to $138,300, and I have provided a workup for our recommendation here. So again, for the C-store component, we have applied a net rent per square foot of $31. Again, to the C-store component, that has a total annual rental value of $105,772. And we have not disputed the car wash component of the subject premise today. We have kept that at $8.10 per square foot for a total annual rental value of $19,618. And the total rent we have applied is $125,373. So again, we ask the board to decrease the 2018 supplementary business assessment to $138,300. And that concludes my presentation.
Thank you. Questions?
Mr. Alders, for the income, commercial property income workup, that's dealing with the realty value. I guess you had mentioned that the adjustments for the gas station are accounted for separately with the adjustments. So for dealing with business assessment, would it be, I guess, would you agree that if we use a convenience store comparable, we're leaving out the gas station aspect of the business? Like, I guess like with your comparables, you showed that there's some convenience stores and whatnot, but would it not be important to factor in that for business assessment, we are assessing a gas station convenience store with a car wash, and we don't want to remove the fact that it is a gas station as well?
I want to be absolutely clear in the approach that was taken here. The realty rents that were applied, or the model rents that were applied in determining the realty assessment were for the convenience store and the car wash, and then there was a separate adjustment for tanks, pumps, and canopies. That adjustment does not appear anywhere in the business assessment on a gas station operation, and so the city does not, for business assessment purposes, use that adjustment. And so the approach here is actually very similar to the cities in that we've looked at what car washes would rent for, and we don't disagree on that rent, and then what convenience stores would rent for, which is exactly the same approach that the city has broken down in their own workup here. And when you look at the rental rate that's applied to the convenience store component of this, that's exactly the same rate that's applied to the convenience store component of the business assessment. So there is no adjustment in there for a quote-unquote gas station, because the pumps, tanks, and canopies are not assessed for business assessment purposes. Okay? Sorry to jump in.
Mr. O'Lears, are any of these comparables convenience stores? If so, which index numbers?
There are no convenience store rental comparables with the rents I have provided.
Okay, thank you.
Retail, they are all retail locations.
Okay. And none of the comparables, obviously if they don't have the convenience store or gas station convenience stores, the newest comparable is the 2014 and index numbers 3 and 4, is that correct?
That is correct. But again, just moving on further with your question here, that my approach was, as Mr. Boardroom has established, for business assessment purposes, we are only focusing on the convenience store itself, which after you have accounted, which again, the assessment department has accounted for with the adjustments for pumps, tanks, and canopies, effectively what you have is a retail location or / a convenience store.
But it's not the same as a max convenience store, like that doesn't have a gas station, like this is a gas station convenience store, is that correct? That we're dealing with the subject property?
Yeah, that is correct, but again, with how the values were separated with the realty assessment, you are dealing with just a convenience store itself, with how the city has extracted the rental rate per square foot from the pad lease itself.
Okay, but you would agree that we're not dealing with the realty here, we're dealing with the business assessment, which is a gas station?
That's
And
correct.
how we're-
But then the rental rates applied for the business assessment is taken from the realty.
Okay. Thank you, no further questions.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Buss?
Would you agree with me that in most cases of similar properties to the subject, they would have pad leases? They do pad leases for the gas stations?
Let me address that. There are two circumstances. One will be a pad lease, so three circumstances. One will be a pad lease, one will be owner occupied, as is the subject. There are actually, there's at least one example I'm aware of a gas station operation actually being owned by a landlord and leased to a tenant. And that's at 1150 Nair. Now, it's not in our evidence because it's an older lease, but that lease was significantly lower than what we, by a significant amount, lower than the rents we've suggested here. And to be clear, the assessor keeps alluding to gas station operation, but all of that is separately accounted for. Pumps, tanks, and canopy is the gas station operation.
Yeah, I
The
understand.
vehicle car wash, we don't disagree with, and when you look at the bricks and mortar that remain and you walk into there, we've all been, I don't know if we've all been, I've been in a number of the Fed Co-op locations. You walk in there, you can't tell it from a Mac store or 7-Eleven. They got the Slurpee machines, they sell lottery tickets, cigarettes, they've got drink coolers, they sell milk and cream. Really no different in terms of the premise use, other than the business operation. But the retailing of petroleum products is accounted for separately in the tanks, pumps, and canopy adjustment on the realty end of it, which does not appear anywhere in the business assessment of gas stations. Any of them.
So the one on Narren that you alluded to, would that be a one price pad lease, or does the operator pay separately for the car wash and for the?
In that particular location, there is no car wash. It is a smaller, it's near the corner of Panet and Nairn. I think it's between Panet and Lage, if I recall correctly. There is no car wash on that location. It's a relatively small kiosk. It'll be in the 450 to 500 square foot range,
Okay.
with a smaller pad site. And the original lease, and many of them do, because I've seen them, at the end of the lease, one of two things happens. The pumps and tanks are removed and the soil remediated, and the owner is left with a vacant site, or the owner retains the ownership of the improvements. And that's exactly what happened in that case, where, and it's actually a Petrocan location, where Petrocan was moving out, the owner took possession, and then Petrocan changed their mind, released the property on a brand new lease. But that's the only true lease of a gas station structure from an arm's length landlord to an arm's length tenant, of the structure only that I'm aware of. Okay? In the city, most of, or exclusively to my knowledge, the balance of them are owner occupied, including a lot of the Red River Co-op locations, the Superstore locations, the Safeway / now Sobeys gas bars. For the most part, owner occupied, but some of those are also leased, and you'll see also in here that some of the Red River locations are also leased. So there are a couple of different models, and there's only one example I'm aware of, just to say it again, of a real rent, but it's an older lease, and that's why it's not been introduced here.
Okay. Mr. Oliveris, you had said, I think, that none of your comparables were convenience stores,
That is correct.
but you also said that one is a 7-Eleven.
That was for the 2016-17 assessment. This is, the 2018 has no convenience stores.
Okay. So that number, what year am I looking at here? 2000? Well, this is a 2018. I thought number 5 on St. Mary's Road was a 7-Eleven.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Your comparable number 5 on St. Mary's Road, I thought you had said that was a 7-Eleven.
Number 5, no, these are all retail locations.
Okay.
What I said here, that they are in the same strip mall, but in the 2016-17, that is the one where I mentioned, there is a 7-Eleven in the
On Portage Avenue,
Portage Avenue.
that was
Oh,
identified.
oh, I'm sorry, I heard that wrong. Okay, and finally, a question about location. Is it subject to good location? The comparables you said were pretty good locations. Is it subject to good location?
Yes, it is.
Yes. That's all my questions.
Thank you.
I'll go back to the realty assessment, I know they're separate, but was this one appealed?
Same story, where, as the assessor indicated to you, that they all went out at the same time, and
It went through the cracks.
yeah.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Mr. Oliveris, can you tell me when this was open for operation, this particular site?
I cannot speak on that now. I wouldn't know what it is.
I believe it was, and I can look at the supplementary assessment notice, I believe it was in early 2016.
Okay.
Pull up the, let me just verify that. Should be in the file, no, the assessment notice. Sorry.
The assessment notice is all.
Well, if I'm reading this correctly, the city has, property tax. The city has assessed it for property tax purposes from January 1st of 16.
Okay, thank you. Also, Mr. Oliveris, on your brief on page 6 for your comparisons, you've got effective age, and I'm just wondering, I think you had indicated earlier that your comparisons 1 and 2, I had Master Row, were slightly older, so I'm just wondering, is effective age and actual age, you're not? Or are you or aren't you differentiating?
There is no difference. I actually have here that the original age is also 2012.
So it's, okay,
Yes.
so it's original effective the same, okay. And just on your, page 9 of your brief, the pictures you've got of your comparables, could you just go through the pictures and tell me exactly what they are?
Yes, so,
Just want to be clear that what we're looking at.
So index numbers 1 and 2, again, they are located on Headmaster Row, so just
Right.
off of Lagimodier. And this is a strip mall.
And just, I'm gonna let him carry on with that, but if you look at that picture in the top left corner on that page, immediately just outside of the picture on the right-hand side, that's where the Tim's is.
Okay.
So index numbers 3 and 4, located on Taylor Avenue.
Oh, sorry, but what are 1 and 2?
So like the, your.
The occupants?
The occupants?
Ah.
Okay. The occupants would be the occupants would be Kelly Penner. This would be a bakery, and and index number 2 would be a veterinary service, but they do operate out of a retail location.
Okay. Okay, continue.
So, index number 3 and number 4, located on Taylor Avenue. This is a large retail location, also with separate components. On the site itself, and the occupants are 5 small rooms and a glasses retailer.
Right, that one I can see.
Just for your reference, that's the development right at the corner of Taylor and Nathaniel. There's a Sobeys in the larger component of the strip, and there are a number of smaller standalone
Right.
CRU unit,
Yeah,
And
very
5 small
familiar.
rooms, sorry, is a oh.
Yeah, very
sorry for
familiar with
interrupting.
them. No, that's fine. I just can't see from the pictures what they are, so,
So 5 small rooms is actually a wedding retailer, so they sell wedding supplies and trinkets for those events. And index number 5 and number 6, this is located again, it's actually right across from Town Mall, I believe, if I'm thinking of this correctly, is on the west side of Town Mall. And index number 5 is a pizza fast food chain, and index number 6 is a massage office. Parlor, sorry.
No, it's a massage
Therapy.
therapy.
Massage therapy
The
location.
farther you gotta go to a different area of town.
So index number 7 is located on Sterling Line Parkway. And, sorry, index number 7, 8, and 9, located on Sterling Line Parkway, that is in close proximity to the new outlet mall. So it's just across the street from, it's just on the IKEA section of that retail node. And so index number 7 is a tutoring center. Index number 8, that is the Bell MTS location, and index number 9 is a Jugo Juice.
sorry, I didn't quite catch, what's 7?
Index number 7 is a tutoring location, so for math tutoring.
Oh, that's what it says, okay. Okay. Thank you, that's all my questions. I'm just gonna ask for a quick break before we carry on. Oh, sorry, did you wanna have a chance for a summation, either of you, on this?
I'll just do one quick.
Sorry, I can't look.
I know, sorry. I'm trying not to be involved.
Sorry, would you like to have a
Just a
summation?
quick, yeah.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, so again, we're looking at the Red River Co-op gas station. Just looking at the fact that we really only have the annual pad site rent leases to go off. And when you look at those, what the annual pad site rents are going for, even with the lower square feet in the subject property, the base annual rental values combined are very similar to the pad site rental without occupancy costs applied. And the blended rates for some of them, again, like the 20, I think the subject property here has the blended rate of $23.25, and for the Red River Co-op subject, the comp number 12, I think we have if we add up everything there, we have a blended lease of about $24. Like, that's really all we're provided with the pad site leases, and we feel that with using these leases, obviously the net rent generated is a lot higher, so we feel that we're being fair with the lower, like applying the $35 base annual rental value per square foot. And to make note that the 1150 Nairn, we actually have on our comparable as number 7.
It's not a pad lease.
Pardon?
It is not a pad lease.
Oh, that's what it, on page.
And I'm under oath and I can speak to it.
Okay, that's just what's provided to us in the mailers, so, on page. On page 11 there, that was just provided to us by for the INE mailer for 1150 Nairn. That would say it's a pad site, so I'm not sure if that then, okay. No, that's all, thank you.
Thank you.
So I will provide a summary. So as I mentioned earlier, the rents that have been established by the Assessment and Taxation Department, they are imputed rents, so everything has been accounted for. Pumps, tanks has been accounted for separately. So pumps, tanks, canopies, pump and gas pumps, those have been assessed separately. The convenience store has been assessed separately, making it just again, effectively a retail location. And also the car wash has been assessed separately to establish that. And again, on page 6, I have provided the comparable market rents for the C-store component only, which is what I'm disputing for the 2018 realty, similar for the 2016-17. And these are all retail locations and good locations of the city of Winnipeg. And I would also like to add here that according to section 318-2 of the Municipal Assessment Act, that in determining the annual rental value.
Sorry, I'm gonna stop you there. You're sort of entering new evidence.
No, it's within our brief.
Okay.
Actually, if you look at page 3, that's the
Page
actual
5.
section
Okay.
is within our evidence.
Yeah, so within page 5 here, that in determining the annual rental value, the premises must be similar in size, but what the assessment department has provided are land leases, which wouldn't be considered similar to the physical, to the improvements, which is the convenience store rents. And I will conclude there.
Okay, thank you. Thank you both. We're just gonna take a 5-minute break. to call this hearing back to order. Santucci, if you'd like to start.
So this one's business assessment ID 34301, address 345 Osborne Street, file number 17-5515. And just to maintain the 2018 ARV of the 93,420. And that's my presentation. Thank you.
If you wish, you can also say based on the
Based,
2018
okay,
Realty.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
So yeah, based on the 2018 Board of Vision Realty Assessment decision. Thank you.
Yes, so at this time, we would just, sorry, questions? Or we would just like to confirm the assessment.
Panel, any questions?
No questions.
And Aniston?
Business assessment ID 31735, address 1745 Kennison Boulevard, file number 17-5508. This will just be to maintain the 2018 ARV of 76,680 based on the 2018 Board of Revision Realty Assessment decision. Thank you.
Thank you.
And we would like to confirm the assessment.
You should have a single page in front of you for each of those requests.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, you should have a single page just confirming that for you.
Okay, good. Business assessment ID 39483, address 3425 Roblin Boulevard, file number 17-5521, to maintain the 2018 ARV of 141,360 based on the 2018 Board of Revision Realty Assessment decision. Thank you.
Thank you. Panel, any questions?
No questions.
No questions?
Mr. Rivers?
We would like to confirm the assessment, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
Business assessment ID 1295, address 3357 Pembina Highway, file number 17-5517, to maintain the 2018 annual rental value of 133,620 based on the 2018 Board of Revision Realty Assessment decision. Thank you.
Panel, any questions?
No questions.
No questions?
And we would like to confirm the assessment.
Thank you.
Business assessment ID 28817, address 1681 Grant Avenue, file number 17-5503, to maintain the 2018 ARV of 43,920 based on the 2018 Board of Revision Realty Assessment decision. Thank you, that's my presentation.
Panel, any questions?
No questions.
No questions?
And we would like to confirm the assessment.
Thank you. That is it. And I thank you both for your time. Thank you.